Anna, welcome to Shift podcast. It's really nice to welcome you here. When I was thinking about who to invite to our podcast, you were the first person to come into my mind because of your unique experience and background. You are to be honest, the only ecologist I know in person. Second, you're the youth worker same time, so you can bring the both perspective of the field. And plus, as I said, you're my wife, so if not with you, with whom I should start our podcasts.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting.
So, first question is going to be, please introduce yourself, who you are, what your experience is, especially connected with the field of the ecology and the youth work.
Yeah, so as you already mentioned, my name is Anna, and I'm a youth worker, but at the same time an ecologist. A few years ago, I did my bachelor's, since I'm from Ukraine, I did my bachelor's in Ukraine in Kyiv Polytechnic Institute. It was more like engineering ecology.
Okay.
But after that, for my master's, I decided to go to Sweden because, pretty sustainable and innovative country. So I went there for a master's program and did environmental sciences. After that, I worked for a couple of years in international company as an ecologist in the environmental health and safety department. So I have a bit of experience within the big companies, like the international giants, I would say. And and also did some...
And it was the production, yes?
Yeah, it was the production. One of really big productions in Ukraine. They have a lot of enterprises all over the world, but in Ukraine, I really had a great chance to work because they had they still have two factories. One is we were making the households. It was washing powder, and another one which I worked a bit more. It was the women hygiene products, more connected to paper and this kind of stuff. It was really nice to have this different experience through I wouldn't say a long period of time. And then also at the same time I was doing some stuff which I didn't know was youth work, but at the end of the day, I found out that it was youth work.
I think everyone is starting like that as a youth worker.
When I was a student, I was in the student. I was the head of the student council of my faculty, and I was doing some kind of things. And then I found out, wow, it's youth work. So why not to connect this both? Then I started to do some programs as environmentalist and youth worker together. Did a couple of Erasmuses as a team leader, as a facilitator on the environmental topics. And then I moved to Latvia and I started to be full-time youth worker more than ecologist, but it's still part of my job.
Perfect. And yes, finally you are in our team. So really happy to have you there. So first of all, as an ecologist, I would like to ask you a question connected with your a previous profession and knowledge and background. As you know, we have a really big and one of our main flagship project called The Shift, where we work actively, try to raise awareness about the fast fashion and textile waste and how it's impacting our environment, not only from a perspective of ecological impact, but also a human rights impact. Because as we all know that unfortunately, the majority of the big companies and corporations that are producing the fast fashion, they're using the cheap workforces in Asian or African countries with a terrible working condition. So can you tell us a little bit more about your everyday tasks as an ecologist? Because some people, and to be honest, like if I have not knew what you have done, I also like before that I was thinking that ecologists, like their work is like just going to the nature, working there and so on, connect, like hugging trees, communicating with them and so on. But what is the real work? Especially you had really unique experience working in production, and I assume it's really differs from like working in office or working in production, where like your everyday work was connected with like emissions and so on.
We don't hug trees mainly. Like you can if you like to do that, but it's for more for meditation than for environment. So
yeah, you are not unfortunately paid for hugging trees.
yeah, it's just like a hobby, you know. They say make hobby your work, and you're never gonna work again. But yeah, jokes aside. I was working on the production and on a big company. So as an ecologist, you have like a lot of things. I was also like for quite a long, I was qualifying for sustainability manager on the plant, which connects a lot like the water usage, electricity usage. A lot of things like utilities, facilities, how the what production is like doing, how much we're consuming, and this kind of stuff. So it's more connected to like the engineering thing and like my first like the bachelor's that I did. And also at the same time as it was the health and safety department, I was also connected a lot to the conditions of work, what people are doing, the ergonomics, like how people are supposed to work safely and environmentally friendly too.
So just like to summarize, it is this way that like you were also like working from engineering perspective, you also were kind of measuring your production footprint, like it would be carbon or other footprints that is on the environment, but at the same time working with the workers' rights and like a safety direction.
Yeah, I work a lot with the emissions we did. It's because you need to control a lot of like the technical stuff. Because like you have the legislation of the country you're working, but you also have a legislation of the like companies one, like the internal rules and laws. And you need to follow everything, and the majority of the time the legislation of the country you work in and the law of the company are a bit different, and you need to like to balance between all of them and like try to find the solutions how to do it like environmentally friendly, but at the same time follow like both laws and legislations of the both parties. That's mainly what I did.
Okay, so now let's move and speak about the youth worker. How important topic is environmental sustainability and being eco-friendly for young people nowadays? And like just tell us about your experience like in youth work on the topic of ecology and sustainability.
Yeah, I would say like lately for the last, I don't know, like 5 years, the topic of like being environmentally friendly, sustainability is like, the most one that is used for the projects and for the stuff we are doing. The thing is that people are raising awareness a lot about like global warming and like the sustainability and all, but it doesn't mean that people really know what means like sustainability and what means to be eco-friendly. It all starts with the small habits, as I usually say. That's like start from yourself, and you will see the changes at least at your home, and then you can like talk and raise awareness among your friends, family, and so on. If we talk about young people, I would say it's super cool that they have a lot of opportunities nowadays, and they have not only because like when I was a teenager, maybe I didn't know that I had this kind of opportunities, but I didn't have them. Like I didn't use them, and I didn't know that much about different topics. And I'm so glad that like here in Young Folks we're doing super many directions of what kids and teenagers and young people can do in their free time, like starting from, I don't know, arts, ending with the environmental things, doing like different projects and taking part in different projects, meeting people from all over Europe and talking on this kind of stuff, because it also is, because it's also about perspective, because in different countries, yeah, we have different economical situation, we have different problems, we have different backgrounds, and that's why like we're looking on the same stuff from super many different perspectives. Like we can't compare young people from Sweden and young people from Ukraine or from Portugal, because they live in total different conditions. I mean, in like, just if we start from the weather, it's like, yeah, maybe Ukraine and Sweden is not that much different, but like Sweden and Portugal is super different weather, super different conditions. And being environmentally friendly and eco-friendly in Sweden is not the same being same in Portugal. So, and it's super cool when you go to the international projects and you start thinking more critically, you like open up your world, like you leave your bubble and you see that usually it's not just how you see the things, but there are other people who have like different views on the same thing, and like that's super cool to have this in youth work.
Yeah, like it's really cool, and you mentioned a really important topic because like a perspectives. When personally me, I was speaking about the sustainability, our footprint, and so on environment. I was thinking a lot about, like, for example, plastics that I use, the like a products, everyday product like a meat, and other stuff that I was and I'm using that, like how I'm leaving the footprint on the environment. But before kind of this project, I was not so much aware and thinking about even what we are wearing. It's like really impacting, because like I just checked some statistics, and the fast fashion production is one of the most environmentally friendly directions, and like it's like just behind the meat production at some point. So the question is that how young people are aware of it, and also like if you can do a little bit of comparison of the current young people and the generation ahead, for example, even our generation, how aware we were, what we are wearing, and how we are impacting with its environment.
Yeah, I would say nowadays young people are like super, maybe because the sustainability is like such a trend now, which like I'm super glad that it is.
Finally good trends, yeah.
Yeah, finally nice ones. So I would say they really think what they are wearing. They're using a lot of like secondhand shops to buy the stuff, and also the thing is that they don't want to be as everyone else, so they try to find, I don't know, the things like not going to, I don't know, H&M and Zara because everyone buys there. They are like searching for something unique to be,
or them to do by themselves.
Yeah, and do by themselves. And the thing, when I was a teenager, we were trying to have like everything which is like cool, and I don't know, on the like we kind of were having all the same things, and but the coolest one is who bought it first, I don't know. And it's bad on the terms of why, because when you buy something because it's a trend or everyone else is wearing it, it doesn't mean you like it. So, and the majority of times I was buying things, I was wearing it once or twice, and then I was like, okay, I don't really like these things. Like, I don't need it, let's throw it away.
I also have a lot of stuff that I wear only for twice, and that's all.
Yeah, and now people are like, okay, let me buy what I want, what I will wear like for years, for example, if you're like, yeah, if you're grown up, so you're like not changing a lot, because with young people it's also hard because like you're growing. And like this summer you're one height, and another summer you're like a lot bigger. So you need to change the stuff, to change clothes. And that's why also it's important here, like here comes the parent part, where they need like to, okay, we're not buying 10 t-shirts this season because in 2 months you will not need them. So let's buy 2 and use them more, or like wash them more, or like, I don't know, to have some alternatives. So this generation, I would say, they're more into this, like being. Maybe they're not really thinking sometimes about like eco-friendliness and sustainability, but more about being unique, and that's where the like imagination comes. They're like rebuilding, repairing the stuff by themselves to have something unique and to
Yes,
wear
that's
it.
really cool because we, for example, in Young Folks have like a Green Folks and Shift club, and they even like put a box where like others can bring their old textile, like a waste kind of little materials, and then they are redoing it as like a pillows or like as a jeans or something like that. So giving them another life, and it's really cool because to be honest, I never thought about it, and in my like kind of childhood, if you were like using this kind of stuff to redo and give the second life, it was kind of associated that you're poor and not having the possibility to like buy something new and stay trendy. While today, it's vice versa. That like if you are like buying the fast fashion or like every month or something, it's considered that you are poor by your mentality and the values. And I really love it, to be honest, that like now it's more priority to change and do by yourself. Yes, as you mentioned, sometimes maybe we are not thinking that we are doing it because of our impact on the environment. But as long as we do it and it's like considered as a really good habit, why not to continue that and even promote this work?
Yeah, that's definitely true, because like when you're repairing the stuff and you have an opportunity like to give kind of the second life to something that was already used, yeah, we can simply like make this world better.
Yeah. Now the question is that what are the widely spread myths about and misinformation about the fast fashion, or like a misbehavior that like people think that they are kind of reducing their impact on the environment, but at some point they don't do or even do worse.
I would say the number one that came to my mind are secondhand shops, because especially when there is like a sale, everything for €1, and we're like going there and like, okay, let's have this, and this because it's cheap. But at the end of the day, we're buying like a lot more things that we could have buy on the regular basis. So that's why, because I don't know, maybe it's like the human nature. When you see something cheap, you're like, you want more. I have €10, let's buy 10 t-shirts. But you don't need them. Like, there are 7 days.
Or you're gonna use and that's all.
Yeah, or sometimes, yeah, people are using for once and then throwing it away. So I would say that's like the biggest problem because people are thinking, okay, it's a second hand. Like I'm doing good. I'm buying. It doesn't matter if I buy like 5 or 10 things. But it matters because it's going to be waste anyway.
So kind of the problem is where it's ending.
Yeah.
Because like yes, at some point we are less. We have like a less impact badly way on the environment because we're buying the second-hand shops, or already the footprint of its production was like a long time ago. So we are not kind of investing money in the fast fashion and new production, but it still like ends on the wastelands, and this is the problem. Yeah,
like, and usually people are just like throwing and it goes on the landfills where it can stay for, I don't know, for centuries, just because usually what is in second-hand shops, it's not like the best quality things, and they're like the plastic, what they consist in them. Yeah, they can stay in lands for quite a while.
That is really important, like a topic that you mentioned, Andreas, that what is made from. Because like if you're gonna take like some t-shirt, for example, from polyester, and t-shirt which like a cotton or like a wool, are the same with their impact or not?
Yeah, of course not, because like the biggest problem on the clothes production is the usage of water, and you need to like look how much water you need to produce every kind of stuff, and also because like the natural things they need less time to become
to dissolve fully.
in the soil, and if it contains any kind of plastic, it multiplies its time. So
yeah, of course.
That's the thing.
Okay. And kind of the last question for today is that can you share your like a good habit or like your hack that you're using to minimalize fast fashion, like being the victim of the fast fashion, and minimalize your textile waste?
Yeah, I have my rule, which I call 24-hour rule. So
Or it sounds interesting.
Yeah, when I go for shopping, which I don't do a lot because I hate shopping and like it's not my therapy.
You are not the perfect correct person for this.
Yeah,
topic.
It's vice versa for me. Like I become nervous. Like I go just when I really need something, and I look like for the specific stuff. So when I see the thing, like I try it on myself. If I like it, I'm like, okay, do I really need it? I can't answer straight away because when I like something, of course you're like, yeah, I like, let's take. I'm like, okay, let's leave it and come tomorrow. So what is 24 hours? So on the next day, I'm like, okay, do I think about the things? Do I have like the stuff with which I can wear it? Or was it just like impulsive thing? I saw something that I liked, so let's buy it. And if I still want it, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's buy it. And it really works for me for the last couple of years. When I see something that I really like, I go and I'm like, okay, let's come back tomorrow.
Wow, that's really cool. And like, what is the percentage of like as the next day you are buying it or not?
I would say usually I don't buy the stuff.
Yeah.
Because the second I'm out of the shop, I'm like, because you start like thinking with what you can wear it, where you can wear it, and I'm usually like, yeah, okay, I don't have stuff with which I can wear it. I don't know, I don't use it for, I don't know, going to the work or somewhere. So maybe I don't really need that. And then on the next day, I'm like, yeah, it's not really that I need it. It's more that like I liked it, but usually I have something similar at home. So I just like the most used thing that I'm buying are jeans. I'm still trying to find like the best jeans which I can have like for 5 years. Haven't found it yet, but that's my goal.
Okay, so you're kind of fighting with your own impulse and emotions, and this like a time giving you to really rationally decide.
Yeah, because like marketing and like
of course.
is playing on our emotions, and I'm like, okay, let's be rational.
Yeah, okay. So thank you a lot. It was really nice to speak with you and watch our podcasts and listen them.
Thank you for inviting.